Hello ladies and gentlemen, Sivalagrim here, and have you ever wondered what artifact should I upgrade first? Is it okay to put my resources on this artifact or should I wait for a better one? Well, worry not, because this guide will try to answer that. I'm going to talk about what artifacts are worth upgrading and in what order should you upgrade your artifacts, because the order in which you upgrade them is very important, and in some specific situations it's better to simply hold off to the resources rather than upgrading an artifact that is going to be useless for you. And over here I have made a little bit of a graphic for you where I try to illustrate the order in which you should upgrade your artifacts, and I'm going to explain it. So yeah. And remember, if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, dislike it if you dislike it, and starting off with the first at level 10 is going to be the All Blades. First of all, why all the way towards level 10? Because when it comes to artifacts, you can equip it on an unlimited number of characters. Only once a team, of course, but you can swap it between your damage dealers, for example. So when it comes to characters, you would build more characters at a time maybe, and focus on more characters towards level 40 gears before advancing. With the artifacts, there's not such a problem, because one artifact that's upgraded will be able to be used on any character. So we are going to take our artifacts all the way to level 10 before we move to another artifact, because this is the most optimal way to do it. And the first bracket is going to be simple enough. First of all, you should get the All Blades all the way to level 10. That's simple enough. The All Blades is going to be the best artifact in the game. It is going to be the most powerful artifact in the game. It's going to yield the best damage dealing capabilities to the character that it is equipped on. So it's only normal that you should prioritize getting the All Blades to level 10. Now there is the next bracket that's a little bit confusing. We have second to level 10, where we have Claws of Horus and the All Blades, and third to level 10, where we have also Claws of Horus and the All Blades. And let me explain that. So, first of all, while it is great to get your level 10 All Blades as soon as possible, some people might not get so fortunate and it will take a while until they get the All Blades. And if you get Claws of Horus instead, it's okay to upgrade Claws of Horus instead of the All Blades, because of the fact that you will eventually need Claws of Horus upgraded, and that artifact will provide you with the damage buffs. Not as much as the All Blades, but for the time being it will be a pretty decent replacement. So, the best scenario is to get the All Blades first at level 10, but if you do not have the All Blades, then upgrade Claws of Horus. If you don't have either the All Blades or Claws of Horus, then don't upgrade anything until you get one of them. Now let's talk a little bit about why there are two Claws of Horus and two All Blades over there. So, your first artifact, as I have said, will be in best case scenario the All Blades to level 10. Then the second artifact. In terms of the second artifact, you have two choices. Do you want to branch out into hitting Horrific Scarecrow or maybe phase 2? Because Horrific Scarecrow is going to be the thing that Claws of Horus is going to be used for. Without Claws of Horus, you're not going to be able to deal damage to Horrific Scarecrow in an optimal way. So if you want to branch out into hitting Horrific Scarecrow, you should build Claws of Horus, and that might also help you in solo raids in some specific fights where you can't tag in and out. The other option, if you don't desire to move towards Horrific Scarecrow right away, you should build a second All Blades. Because, and yeah, we're already talking about the second All Blades. I know, for some people watching this is insane because they don't even have one of the All Blades. And I know and I understand that. It's okay, you'll get it eventually, or you'll at least get Claws of Horus. But if you have one All Blades to level 10, and by the time you get one All Blades and get it to level 10, you'll most likely get your hands on the second. So when you have one All Blades to level 10, you have a choice. Either upgrade Claws of Horus in order to hit Horrific Scarecrow, or upgrade the second All Blades in order to put it on the combo builder that you have, or if you are going to play double damage dealer. Because once you get the hang of raids, it's going to be easy enough for you, so you can afford having the All Blades also on the combo builder. And while it's not really necessary to have that, that is the most optimal way to have the highest damage output. And by the way, it's a little bit late to mention that, but I'll not include the Apocalypse artifacts into this one because they are separate in terms of upgrading, because they do upgrade with other kinds of resources. They have their own materials, so we don't care about that. So going back, there is the option of putting a second All Blades on a second damage dealer. So your options are the following. Either get 2 All Blades to level 10 and then Claws of Horus to level 10, or get All Blades, Claws of Horus and then a second All Blades to level 10. That is the most optimal thing that you should do. If you do not have All Blades or Claws of Horus, then you should hold on to your resources, because while there are other artifacts that will give you decent buffs and other bonuses, it's simply not worth to investing into anything else, because most of them don't really give you that much damage or don't give damage at all. So yeah, now let's move on to the next bracket. The next bracket is going to be worked after 2 All Blades are at level 10 and 1 Claws of Horus is at level 10. And over here we're going to have 3 artifacts. We're going to start off with the Artifact of Might. The Artifact of Might is going to be the best artifact you can use on Kingsland Sakomen if you're fighting phase 2 and you don't want to tag him out. And you might be like, well, but you said Claws of Horus for not tagging out. Yes, that's for Horrific Scarecrow and this for every single character. And Claws of Horus will also work on phase 2. But for specifically King of Land Sakomen, specifically in phase 2, specifically with a strategy where you don't tag him in and out and you keep him the last one alive, Artifact of Might will actually be the best artifact you can get, because it will give you a boost against agility characters, and in that specific case Brainiac is going to be an agility character, and overall you'll deal better damage with the Artifact of Might than with Claws of Horus in phase 2. But yet again, only consider this after getting the 2 All Blades at level 10 and 1 Claws of Horus at level 10. Next up, it will be the Anti-H Metal Armor. That is an artifact that is mostly for Arena and Champions Arena to put on legendary characters. So yeah, if you got legendary characters, you got the artifacts that I've previously mentioned. Maybe work on that, I don't know. It's up to you. And next one is going to be the Regeneration Matrix. The Regeneration Matrix is going to be one of the best defensive artifacts, and you can kind of equip them on your combo builders or on very specifically important characters in your teams that you really don't want to die. So yeah, also consider that. So, going back, after you get 2 All Blades at level 10 and 1 Claws of Horus at level 10, the order in which you pick from this tier, the worth after the ones above, it's up to you. If you want to go for phase 2, pick Artifact of Might. If you want to go for Arena and Champions Arena with legendary characters, pick Anti-H Metal Armor. And if you want to go with Regeneration Matrix, then go ahead. Personally, I would go with Regeneration Matrix, but on the other hand, that's one of the most rare artifacts in the game. So most likely, you might not have it at that point. So yeah, it remains to be seen. Next up, we have the tier. Those are artifacts that are going to have... 2 of them are going to have decent rolls, and 1 of them is not going to do much. So yeah, first of all, the Meta-Human artifact. The Meta-Human artifact is not going to be such a bad artifact. It's so low because it tends to drop very, very often in soul raids. So you might as well get it from soul raids at level 5 or 6 already rather than upgrading it. And the purpose of Artifact of Meta-Human is going to be not to be placed on your combo builder, not to be placed on your damage dealer, but to be placed on the 3rd character in your team, because the 3rd character, because this artifact will also provide bonuses to the entire team, and that is healing. And currently this is the only artifact in the entire game that can provide bonuses to your team, while the character that is using it is not tagged in. So yeah, this is a very unique artifact that you will eventually get from soul raids and other such events. So I wouldn't really rush towards upgrading it, but it's worth considering using it. Next up, the Arcane Staff. Oh my god, this artifact used to be so good back in the day, but the main problem is the fact that right now we got the new Apocalypse artifacts, and while I said they will not be on this list, I will still keep them in mind because the fact that they exist. So yeah, the new Apocalypse artifacts came out, and there are so many better artifacts than this one in terms of defensive capabilities and in terms of artifacts that should be put on combo builders. Also, the double all play strategy is getting more and more popular, and the Arcane Staff is simply not finding a place anymore to be in your team. teams. So yeah, you could go for the Arcane Staff if you wanted to. Is it the Arcane Staff? Let me check a little bit. I might get the wrong names. Cosmic Staff, excuse me. Why did I say Arcane Staff? So yeah, you could go for the Cosmic Staff if you wanted to, but it simply does not have a place. It definitely does not have a place in raids if you have the most optimal setups. It might have a place in Arena 9 Champions Arena, but there are better artifacts for that. And next up, it will be the Artifact of Arcane. Like, the only reason I would see you use this is to boost your damage against against Dr. Fate with Silver Banshee, because it's literally the same deal as Kingsland Sakom in Phase 2. But the thing is, nobody does this. So if nobody does this, then most likely the All Blades are going to provide you with more damage overall than this one. But yeah, it's in the meh tier. It's not the most terrible artifact. And next up will be the useless tiers. Those artifacts, well, you can keep and equip them on random characters in your roster if you want to boost your threat just as a show off. But if not, shatter them. Shatter them, destroy them. Those are not going to be artifacts that are going to be any use for you. Tech artifact is going to give you some health. There are a lot of artifacts that give you health and much better defensive capacities. This is useless. Next up will be the agility artifact. The agility artifact will boost your dot damage. And yeah, in theory, this sounds pretty good, but the problem is, let's say the fortunate thing is that dot damage scales with attack. Do you know what provides you with attack? The All Blades, Claws of Horus. So the All Blades will provide you with far better dot damage than if you would have equipped the dot damage specific artifact. So this is completely useless. So yeah, this is the list. This, in my opinion, is the order in which you should upgrade your normal artifacts. For the Apocalypse artifacts, I might do one in the future, but the problem is we don't really have enough data yet to do one, and not many people have them, so that would be useless anyway. So yeah, with all that being said, thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed this. Dislike it if you dislike it. Share it with your league mates if you think they would find it helpful. And I'll see you in the next one.